this unit we'll be talking about in science is on cycles. Through this scientific journey, students will obtain a thorough understanding of the life science concept of cycles. This includes both natural and life cycles and the key components that connect each part of those cycles together. They will compare and contrast the cycles as well as make what is happening applicable to their own lives and well-being. As the journey progresses, students will see that they have an important role in maintaining and investing in the cycles working as they should. As we look throughout this unit, we can see that all levels of Bloom's taxonomy were used throughout their lessons. The multiple intelligences that are addressed in this unit are kinesthetic, interpersonal, intrapersonal, musical, verbal linguistic, naturalist, visual spatial, and of course, logical mathematical. Many technologies were used throughout this unit. First, students use their Chromebooks that they have in the classroom in order to access information on the internet. And on the internet, they were able to go on a web quest and research information. And with that information, they created a PowerPoint. And they did this in groups using Google Docs. Students also made an iMovie. With the iMovie, they had to use a green screen and they had to collaborate with one another in order to get a really important message across. Here are the content and technology standards covered in this unit. The first activity they are involved in is a web quest, and this particular web quest addresses the interpersonal, verbal, visual, kinesthetic, naturalist, logical, and musical learners. As you can see, they can look through this web quest, they go through a process and have to follow a series of steps, and they have internet connections which lead them to different activities and quizzes. Also, they have an evaluation they can look at and see how they are being assessed and graded. Once they are all done, they completed a lot and learned a lot at the end of the day. Next, students will be creating a movie on iMovie. Students will be put into groups and will be given one of the natural cycles to make a short movie about. The movie is flexible in the sense that it can accommodate most or all learning styles, whether they want to create a song, make it a lecture, create a drama, or maybe even a newscast. As long as they include all steps of their cycle in a clear and logical order, the students have creative and artistic freedom. Another project the students will be involved in is a PowerPoint presentation. This presentation appeals to the naturalist, the interpersonal, the kinesthetic, the intrapersonal, verbal, logical, and visual learners. Students will work in groups in order to research and create a PowerPoint presentation that persuades their audience or their classmates to vote for their plan of action to help our ecosystem. Examples would be volunteering to plant trees at a local park or fundraising to build a well in a third world country. There's so many possibilities for these students and how they can change the world, and they get to present that to their classmates. The last project I will mention is a blog created on EDU blogs. Students will create a What If I Was blog about a living organism's life cycle that has been discussed in class. They can write from the perspective of fungus, or even a single-cell organism like bacteria, or any animal that they choose. But students must write from the perspective of that specific organism that they chose. They must take their reader through the life cycle. They must start from the birth all the way until their death. They must write at least 300 plus words and are required to use terms and vocabulary from our textbook. Students will then be able to share and post their blogs. Classmates are required to read at least 3 blogs and comment on them. The learners addressed in this lesson are the interpersonal, verbal, naturalist, and logical. Thank you for cycling through this unit on cycles with me. It's astounding to see what we can learn and what we can do with technology. With it, we have more ways to protect our Earth and to change the lives within it. Now the question is, when do we get started?